Ian, back home tomorrow night for another big game, going in with a lot of nice momentum after a good finish on Saturday against Wigan.
Yeah, look, Saturday we were annoyed with our first 30-35 minutes. I think we let ourselves down, but after that we wrestled back control and second half dominated and deserved the point at the very least. You know, we're satisfied with the point, but we feel like it was an opportunity missed. But on to two big home games now and trying to win both of those.
They are big home games. You mentioned before the Wigan game that these three oppositions and yourselves, of course, could easily be playing at a higher level. They're good games to get stuck into, and Pompey will be similar in that respect.
Yeah, they've been on a good run of form since the turn of the year. They've got some good players, but like every team really, we respect them, but it's more about what we do, concentrate on our own performance levels. And if we perform like we did second half on Saturday and in other games of late, then we're more than a match for any team in this league.
Nice to be back home. I know there's an element of frustration with the last two home games, Morecambe and Plymouth, and again, arguably deserve more out of those. I think that's fair to say, isn't it?
Yeah. I think our performance level was really good against Morecambe and Plymouth, and we only came away with 1 point. Just getting back to those performance levels really and being the best version of ourselves. If we can do that, then as I said, I think we're more than a match for any team.
It's a long time since we've been at home in many ways, and we've talked about the supporters a lot. They enjoyed their day Saturday, and two big crowds again coming up for the next two, which is, as you've said before, they're enjoying what they're seeing at the moment.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, the season ticket sales speak volumes as to where they're at and where we're at. We're progressing together. We feel like we're gathering momentum, and we want to keep that going. And as I said, two big home games, two big crowds, two big clubs coming here. We have to make sure we perform.
I think people are advised not to leave early. I know they don't very often, but I think at the start was mentioned more late goals than anybody, which is a feather in your cap. I know you'd probably rather score 3 and 4 before half time and put games to bed, but it's a great quality you've got.
It's not a coincidence. You know, when you've scored so many goals in the last 10-15 minutes, it's because we wear the opposition out. That's as simple as that. Teams can't press the ball for 90 minutes, especially if we've got controlled possession. Second half, I thought they looked really leggy, and we took over and started to control possession. I don't think we played, you know, to our best by any means on Saturday, and we still had nearly 60% of the ball compared to them. So it shows you when we are at it, we can really cause teams problems and ask them questions, and in turn they fatigue, and then the last 10-15 minutes we can take advantage.
And the other part of that equation is, again, we've talked about it, the strength in the bench. I mean, that's been another big plus since January, hasn't it? Huge for me to look behind me and see some really good players ready to come on and make an impact, and Saturday our players that came off the bench really did make that impact. I don't know if that gives you a headache or just a welcome thing, because then again those lads from Saturday have been knocking on the door as players have done in previous weeks. Yeah, people want to start games, you know, they do, of course, and when they get the chance to come off the bench they need to make sure they play well, because we've got a squad full of talent that are ready to play. But I've been really pleased with everyone's attitudes and the impact that the bench has made in recent weeks. When you went down to Portsmouth, it was during a sticky run and were very stretched at the time. You said about Wigan, they would see a different Bolton team, which they did do, and I imagine Portsmouth will again, just in terms of personnel and performance and confidence. Exactly that. I think, you know, we were a makeshift team on that day, not in very good form. Tight game, nothing in it, and a mistake cost us really 1-0. A different team now, we've evolved. We have to make sure, as I said, that we perform to our second half levels on Saturday and not what we did in the first half an hour. If we can do that, I believe we can get a result against anybody. And 6 to go, just try and keep winning. That's it, you never know. That's all we can do. At the moment it's not looking likely. We have to hold our hands up, but we're professionals and we want to win every game we play, so we'll be certainly trying to do that the next two home games and then see where that takes us. How's the head count? 1 or 2 little knocks from Saturday, just a late check? Yeah, Declan still struggling with his back. Kyle has a knock, and Dapo has a knock, and they'll be doubtful for tomorrow. But again, it's to emphasise the size of the squad we've got, and hopefully people can come in and take the place. And just lastly, Kieran Lee, just going to not rush him back. I mean, he's such a key player for us, and given where we are, I imagine there's no desire to do that. No, I mean, we had him scanned again last week, and there's nothing sinister going on there. It seems like it's healing well. There's just a little bit of soreness around the incision from the operation when he puts his boots on. So we'll give him a bit more time. As I said, we don't want to break him. We want to get him back in one piece and 100% and ready to go. Good luck tomorrow night. Cheers.